very impressive campus and beautiful facilities. And I think you have, when looking at the facilities that you have here, the people that you have, I think you have very good potential to do great things in the future. I think the basis, you have very good base to start something great. This photo is UTM campus in Kuala Lumpur. This is where Ibu Nayati studied. I think you cannot see the building. Yeah, you can see the, with this. Yeah, between this is Razak School. Yeah, that's what where you were there at that time. This campus is in Kuala Lumpur. It used to be actually the older part of the campus around here. We were established as a technical school 1904 and then became a technical college in 1952. It was the only technical school in Malaysia at that time, established by the British, funded by a big donation by a Chinese millionaire at that time, one of the founders of Kuala Lumpur. Kuala Lumpur actually started in middle 19th century, about 1850s. Before that, they were before 1850, maybe there were about 100 people in Kuala Lumpur. 100. It was a small kampung where people at that time started to mine, to do mining, tin mining. Okay, then the rest is history, I would say. But you see, Kuala Lumpur actually started from when we went to the Pura, Kraton, apa namanya? Yeah, Mangkunagaran yang I see the buildings and the palace were built around that time. Kuala Lumpur was established. So we are very young country. Very young country. And the college at that time was at the very far from the center. 1952 was a college, and then we get independent 57. At that time, there was only one university, University of Malaya, and it was in Singapore. The University of Malaya actually started in Singapore. At that time, there was no Singapore per se. There was no Malaysian Singapore. So it was under the administration of the British. So the University of Malaya was in Singapore, and then after we get independent, the University of Malaya moved to Kuala Lumpur. And the original University of Malaya that was in Singapore became NUS, National University of Singapore. And from 1957 until 1969, there was only one university in Malaysia. One university. University of Malaya. Second university was established in 1969, USM. The third university in 1970, UKM, University Kebangsaan. Number 4 university, University Putra, 71. And then the fifth university was ITK, Institute Teknologi Kebangsaan. It was a replica of ITB. Everything was copied from Institute Teknologi Bandung. Almost everything, I think, maybe half of the lecturers also came from ITB at that time. 1972, UTM was established on this campus, where we and then the name UTM we changed to UTM 1975. That was a history of UTM. And then we moved from this campus to UTM Johor Bahru in 1989. So the campus first built in 1985 in Johor Bahru. Then we redeveloped these all new buildings in around year 2015. Yeah. So that was the bit of UTM. And I've shown this photo already. I mean, this slide already. At the moment, we have 36,507 students, 5,389 international students. Of the students' body, about 40% are postgraduate, and more than half of the postgraduate students are PhD students. And I mentioned yesterday that PhD students are the engine of innovation and research. In order for any institution, that was one of the main strategy of UTM when we want to transform from a teaching-based university to become research university and be able to compete at a global level, was to increase the number of graduate students. So there are a lot of, we put up a lot of strategy at that time to enhance the quality, develop new program, increase the capacity to offer graduate program, and promote the program and bring in students to graduate program. And of course, when we started, PhD was very small, then become bigger. Now our PhD students are bigger than master students. And that what I said, the engine of research output. I will start with, when we're talking about world class, many institutions around the world looking for how to develop world class universities probably around the world, meaning not only in Malaysia, in Indonesia, but also in Africa in this case. And people are looking for answers and how to do this. People are talking about it. We have been talking about this for quite some time. And here in this particular paper, they're talking about the quest for world-class universities in China. And now talking about what are the characteristics of world-class universities. And there have been many publications and seminars, everything talk about world-class universities. A lot of information you can find this, and you can find one of the best books actually is written by Al-Bash and Jamil Salmi, The Road to Academic Excellence. In this book, they elaborated quite at length actually what should be done based on our starting point, because different institutions will start at different starting point. And also your geology, where you are in the reality of our starting point. So we cannot just see everything what people are doing. We just cannot replicate everything other people are doing. We have to do the reality check and plan from there. This is something that we have to realize. People are talking about world-class universities and try to understand what it is. Endless debate, a lot of debates around world-class, and some people equate world-class universities with high position in ranking and try to become world-class university by achieving higher place in ranking without actually understanding what rankings are, what are characteristics of the ranking system, or different ranking system that rank universities. Each of these ranking agencies actually come up with different indicators that reflect different aspects of excellence. And people in the street, our stakeholders, politicians, funders, students, alumni, they do not understand. They will ask why your university is not in ranking table. And of course, the rectors, the vice rectors are in hot soup to defend their position. Some institutions, they're very proud of their institution, and saying that their situation is good, it's world class already. How come we are not ranked? So these are things that always in the mind of the leaders, of people in position at universities. And Albert put this question. The products of world-class university, however, as Albert accurately observes, that one wants one, no one knows what it is, and no one knows how to get one. So this is something paradox and something that that we should reflect. And there is another article that also explain about world-class university, ranking and accountability in higher education users and misusers. They mentioned this is a report by UNESCO, and UNESCO in this particular report, they kind of define what is WCU. World-class universities usually referred to as the most prominent research universities, are essential in developing competitiveness in the local and national knowledge economy, meaning the knowledge transfer that is being exercised intensively and combined with status recognition at global level, meaning whatever that you do, you must be recognized and people, other stakeholders recognize the contribution, you know. These universities play key roles in generating and circulating knowledge, educating highly skilled personnel for leadership, and serving the needs of society. So that's very worthy and very value-laden statement. And if we analyze the word chosen to define it, is very difficult to achieve actually. And everyone wants to be WCU, and even in the latest, I just realized that UTM also just changed our mission, and put also world-class university in the tagline, in the mission statement, of UTM. And you know, university from Malaysia, from Sweden, from Dubai, from UK, from Nigeria, China, Hong Kong, Australia. I just pick universities from different continents, meaning that it is a global trend, and even they put world-class universities in their mission statement. So this is something that I want everyone wants one. So very important that we understand what it is so that we are on the right track. So challenges in becoming a world-class university, many equates with high ranking position only. Misplaced priorities and strategy. For some, starting baseline is too far behind, meaning they are excited to be ranked, but looking at their baseline, their research achievement or their quality of staff, quality of students, facilities, whatnot, they are too far behind. So actually, to put too far behind, meaning the journey will be too long for them, to say. And probably they should put different priority, actually, instead of want to be ranked globally. I've seen and met many presidents of universities in ranking conferences. And we discussed about this quite a lot, and some of them actually quite ambitious, and they felt that at least they still want to be ranked. If we say ranking is something that it can be equate to world-class university. Many felt that developing strong fundamentals for good university is too slow. Meaning, when we say that the good fundamentals are excellence in academic and research, we say that establishing good fundamentals is too slow and too far for them to achieve, to be ranked. Misunderstanding of how university ranking works. Use rankings as the only or primary set of indicators to frame goals or assess performance. So these are some of the challenges and maybe misunderstanding regarding world-class university and how you should pick any strategy to become world-class university. Probably I will just talk very briefly how to plan strategically for world-class university. In Jamil Salmi article, Jamil Salmi, who is Jamil Salmi? Actually, Jamil Salmi is now big consultant in higher education. He used to be the person or the director or something at the World Bank that looking at the trend in higher education, and he published several articles and books actually on, and he wrote the book with Al-Bash. Al-Bash is a renowned professor in higher education in the US. I think he's now in BU in Boston University. And Jamil Sami in this particular article, he published this chart, which I love this one because he summarized everything in one diagram, one diagram. There is a component of concentration of talent, and then sufficient resources, and this one is good governance. And under, for example, concentration of talent, you have students, staff, researchers, internationalization. Sufficient resources, public budgets, resources, endowment, revenues, tuition fees, research grants. Under good governance, supportive regulatory framework, autonomy, academic freedom, leadership, strategic vision, culture of excellence. And if you have research, good talent and good governance, you have research output. You have good sufficient resources and concentration of talent, you have graduates. You have good governance and also you have transfer. Meaning you have the three components of research output, quality graduates, meaning this is good academic program, excellent research, excellent academic, and both of research and academic contribute to the world in terms of whatever, in terms of economy, in terms of impact to society, in the form of knowledge transfer. And only then you will become world class. So it's beautifully summarized by Jamil Sami. This is an ideal case. So if you cannot do all, some components of it we should pay attention so that we can plan along the line. So alignment of key factors in devising or developing our strategy. So I showed this for different purpose yesterday, but in developing world-class university, also following a similar workflow or value chain. First, we have to have institutional commitment and policy in terms of vision and mission. And we have to have the plan, commitment from the organization itself in the direction of the university. And then only then, once we have the strategic plan for the institution, only then we can develop the policy, the procedures. And second step is providing the support in terms of governance, in terms of capacity of human resource, finance, infrastructure, developing. If we want to have internationalization, for example, as a vision, as a mission of university, only then you should have the governance at the university to execute. And you should allocate people. When you allocate people, you have to train the people so that they know what to do. They know how to execute the mission. In order for them to execute the mission, you have to provide them facilities, finance, support, and develop their ability to do that. Only then you can have the output, meaning the academic people and also the support people, support staff to develop to perform the core roles of the university, academic excellence and research excellence. In order to have research excellence, you have to have what are required to produce research excellence? What are things required to produce academic excellence? Academic excellence require the teachers, the educators, the curriculum, the infrastructure, the learning environment. So we talked about it yesterday, right? So it has to be everything. It has to be holistically designed. Only then we develop a strong fundamental for university. And it has, and the journey is not short journey. So this is something that we have to only then we can see the impact. Then we can see the we can we can see other people want to become partners with us, and then only then we be able to recruit good students, recruit good staff. We be able to do global branding and to measure it, maybe ranking is one of. So we cannot just go into ranking and say that we world class university. If you involve in student recruitment, like I did last time, the first question is what's your ranking? What is your ranking? Ranking is very important for student recruitment. I mean, I travel quite extensively around the world. Just name the countries that I have been to all these countries. Iraq, Iran, Saudi, Yemen, Sudan, Egypt, Libya, Kenya, Tanzania, just name all those countries. I've been there for recruitment. And the places that have been to Indonesia also because of the recruitment. Medan, Jambi, Palembang, Kuala Lumpur. If it is in Jawa, from Bandung, Jakarta, Semarang, Surabaya, Solo, Jogja, all of these Makassar, all of these places that have been my role that time was to do the recruitment, bringing students to UTM. And of course, when you want to recruit students, you need to sell the future, sell the future. But you cannot sell false future. We have to sell the real future for them, that they'll be getting good education, they'll be coming to good education system can develop their talent to become someone that will transfer or transform their life, transform to become someone else. So, but ranking will be a question that they never miss to ask. So at the beginning, we didn't have any ranking position. And at that time, was one in Kazakhstan. Actually, we got students originally from Kazakhstan, sponsored by the government of Kazakhstan, like, scholarship. And then after 2 years, they discontinued the sponsorship of students to UTM. I went to Kazakhstan to see the sponsor. And then they asked, are you in top 200? No, at that time they asked for top 300. Are you in top 300? No, we at that time maybe 380 or something. So you are not in top 300. So we only send to top 300 students. Simple. So you cannot undo that. That's the policy. Once they become policy, they just cut you off. Simple as that. The same thing as Saudi government. But we managed to be included in the Saudi but they cut off many universities in Malaysia who are not ranked at certain level or subject or whatever. So that's the prerogative of the sponsor. The government of Indonesia also, if you have the money, you want to send the students abroad, you have the policy like you can go here, you can go there, you cannot go there, you cannot go here. So that's policy of the sponsor, and they can be on anything. They can spell out any condition as a sponsor. I managed to get, because I went to Saudi to get a sponsorship from IDB, and we managed to get many students from IDB to come to UTM, and actually because of they believe that the students from least developed countries, countries like Malawi, in Mali, Sierra Leone, all these countries in Africa in their country, you cannot imagine their country. They just maybe 50, 60, 70 years behind in terms of education. And of course, agency like Islamic Development Bank, IDB, want to give them scholarship so that they can go to other universities, in other countries, so that they receive good education and go back and develop their country. We are fortunate that IDB recognized our strength, and many of them came. You may know some of them, and they are now someone. Some become minister, become the president of university, and we are very proud of our contribution there. But we have to start first the foundation before we come to here. That's very important. So let me just go to a little bit of our journey, starting from year 2008, when we first really think. We started much earlier to do recruitment and whatnot, but not in a more holistic way of developing the whole university, holistic development for the university. Because when we started, when our rector at that time, Professor Zaini Ujang, 2008, he became the VC, the Vice Chancellor or Director, and he started doing things. And after some years, starting from year 2011, roughly, he, at that time, had a team. And I joined his team in 2009, actually, 2009. I joined his team in 2008, when he became the VC, and then he asked me. I was in SPS long before that, taking care of international recruitment. Then I spent too much time doing that. I thought that I should go out. And then he called me back, 2008. And we started this plan, what we call UTM Global Plan, 2012, 2020. So it's divided into 3 phases, what we call PGU1, PGU2, PGU3. And then continued 2008 by Professor Wahid Omar. And we published a plan. Each of these plan, PGU1 has its own book. So you can download the book. You go to our website, you can download the book on global plan. And each of this plan has its own focus, what we call KFA, which is key focus area. Actually, all these key focus area, not really something different. It's just about excellence in academic, excellence in research, and then the supporting elements are finance, infrastructure, delivery, and global. So basically, these are the supporting elements. And then you don't have to worry about the detail, but what the most important is the communication of the vision by the top management. So the commitment by the university, at that time, the VC, the rector, Zaini Ujang, he published on annual basis one book. One book on the 1st January every year, he published a book for the action plans for the year, 1 year ahead. And it's written in a book that he published every year. And he communicate and continued by Professor Wahid Omar, every month. So every month, every first Monday, never miss. Every first Monday of the month, he has a monthly staff assembly where he communicate the vision and present the achievement on monthly basis, and always put what are our targets. For the year, our target in 2 years' time, our target in 3 years' time. And this has been communicated throughout. And all his book, not only about the plans, but also the vision, and like something like Mengangkasa Pengajian Tinggi, or the elevating the higher education, new academia, creativity, university, innovative and creative university, for example, soul of higher education. All of these realizing UTM global inspiration. So all of this is actually the vision that we communicated to the staff. I just want to share with you our starting point, 2007, when he started.
when we started the global journey. 2007, I was Scopus Journal, 5-year cumulative journal, 678. And then our citation only 1372. Only few people. And maybe at that time, actually, they have other indicators. They have about 12 indicators. And in the indicators also stated the number of staff having PhD. At that time, maybe the number of staff about 200 for the whole university. 1,800 staff, only about 200 to 300 that have PhD. Even with 200, 300 PhD, we managed to publish about 300 something journals. 2007. Even with this baseline, and then later on increased a little bit because of his effort. We really pushed, but really didn't go through very much. And at that time, we start to, because we have some data already, then we submitted the data to QS and we were ranked around 400. When we first started the journey, we say that by year 2020, in this plan, we want to achieve 15,000 scopers with 50,000 citations, and we will rank 200. So that's in the span of 8 years. That was the ambition, and no one believed him at that time. Actually, we could achieve that, but it's okay. You know, we put the target and we try to work on it. And then he also put at that time the immediate target of 2015. At 2015, intermediate, we know that our starting point is quite low, and of course the target for 2015 around 6,000 for number of papers. That's a scopus citation of about 10,000, and the ranking of 300. That was the intermediate target. And then at the end of PGU1, actually we have achieved something within 3 years. You know, 2013 citation scopus now at that time around 3,000. Scopus citation around 6,000, 7,000. That's 5-year accumulation, and ranking now increased a bit to 355. What's your number? I forgot to check. Do you know the cumulative 5-year scopus at UNS? Maybe quality can check. You cannot check? Total 5-year accumulation. Actually, you can check. You can check in your. You can check in the scopus number of journals and number of citations. And then PGU2, 6,000. Okay, that's a good. Yeah, that's a good achievement. Yeah, 6,000 citations, 6,000 papers. You can check. I would like to know that, because I think that one is internal data. And then after PGU2, you can see was an immediate document under scopus 9,000. Okay, that's a 5-year accumulation. Dia lambat sedikit, ya. Citation impact dia agak lambat, tapi dia sangat penting sebab kalau untuk ranking dia tak kira number of papers. Dikiranya adalah number of citation per staff. So the ratio, so per staff, the bigger number of staff, if you then you have smaller ratio. So they just look at that. And some they just to be fair to small universities. So big universities usually disadvantage in this sense. If you have more staff, you have good ratio for this, and that's for ranking workshop. That's for ranking workshop, okay? But the strategy, okay, what I'm trying to say here is the progression that we managed to achieve from for PGU2. So it has increased tremendously from around, I don't have the actual data for 2015, but we put the targets 6,000, actually the achievement around 6 or 7,000. But the following year and the following year, 2017, now actually we already 16,000. And you can see although the target was 15,000 2020, but we managed to actually achieve that 15,000 article much earlier. Maybe in 2015 even, and the citation, we managed to get it much earlier also. So our citation now, probably I don't have the latest data, maybe around 400,000 something, which is far less than universities like NUS and NTU. I think their figure around, their citation is around 200,000. Like that. So even though we are there already in terms of research output, but to compete at higher level, it's okay to be at 200. If you check the research achievement of ranking position for universities around 200 to 300, their citation approximately the same with us. That's if you want to move up. Even UC Malaya is a lot more than us. That's why they are higher than us. As simple as that. The productivity of UC Malaya's research is much better than UM than the UTM. Okay, that's the journey, and very important. This is our, you cannot see very clearly, but if you see the slide later on, you can see. I explained this yesterday that once we have the strategic trust, and then we have to have a good strategy. So the action plans will be here, down under strategy objective. Then you have to see what are the action plans behind it, and good plans will address all the strategy objective, and eventually will contribute to the vision and mission. So can we have, you want to have discussion? Any questions so far? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So maybe how make a top leader understood well about the vision. Of course, not only vice chancellor, but maybe pro vice chancellor also support. Yeah. So I have this book. Yeah, ini Uchang book I have. And if I'm not wrong, UTM always deliver in bahasa Melayu and bahasa Inggris. Yeah. And you also maybe put in explore in the public that's maybe guests also can find it very easy like that. Why the internalization strategy like that? So ONS can study from this. Thank you.
If I understand the question, thank you for the question. I think in terms of developing the plan, the book is published on the 1st. You remember the book is already published on the 1st of January. That the preparation to publish the book is done much earlier, 6 months earlier. Halfway through the year, we reviewing the plans, and there's usually around August, we're going to have a big workshop attended by, I remember, maybe by all the deans, all the directors, and all the senior administrators. So we go to special place for 3 days and work on the plan. So everyone was involved in the planning. Everyone involved in the planning. All the top management already, the plan comes from, although the vision comes from the top, number one, but the plan comes from the middle management. They are the one who put the plan what to do for research, what the activities to be done. So usually we'll split to several groups and we stay together for 3 days in workshop, in sometimes in military camp, sometimes in nice hotel, depends where the rector wants us to be. So we have been to different places, but of course, and then we have another workshop to refine the plan, perhaps, start from August to October. And by November, everything is finalized and he started to write the book. Usually around October, he start to write the book, put all the plans, and that will be, and then all the editing purposes, whatever, by 1st of January is published. So that's how the vision is being transferred and shared by the top management, meaning including the middle management, the deans, directors, director of research, director of entrepreneurship, director of international, all the directors, including the administrators, the senior administrators. So usually we go very big. I think I remember the biggest around 80, 80 people. So that was it was a serious workshop. Although we go to the beach, but it was real serious discussion and whatnot. Of course, what I'm relating now is something that I experienced myself during that time, but not now. Now maybe different because I'm no longer part of the management. They also, I think they still continue doing similar things, but not exactly the same thing. Because I'm trying to relate the previous plan, but most of the plans actually being transferred or be enhanced in Ambition 2025. Let me just go a bit on why. It's very important that Prof. Solihin mentioned. Finish already? Or question? Okay, please.
Kasih Prof. Saya pakai bahasa saja ya.
Iya, tak apa.
Apa namanya? Saya tadi melihat dari Prof. Saini Ujang ke Prof. Omar ya. Itu sangat jelas apa yang global vision, global targetnya ya. Kemudian ada vision yang dievaluate setiap bulan bahkan ya. Kemudian bagaimana target. Bagaimana komitmen top leader ya. Menyangkut masalah uang. Ya, karena kan dia punya target, misalnya kita tahun depan mau mencapai ini. Bagaimana biasanya yang di bawah dean atau di bawah mana duitnya gitu kan. Nah, apakah ada apa ya? Arti misalnya ya, jadi misalnya satu fakulti dapat fakulti engineering misalnya dapat satu paper, oh nanti ada additional budget sekian dan sebagainya. Apakah ada komitmen seperti itu atau misalnya aktivitas lain? Saya melihat seperti yang dilakukan oleh CEE misalnya ya. Buat kita itu sangat fantastik dia melakukan kegiatan misalnya di Bangladesh, di mana lagi bahkan di Afrika ya, lakukan itu. Nah, bagaimana komitmen masalah funding dari university? Apakah dia cuma membiarkan saja bekerja atau itu dikembalikan ke setiap dean ataukah setiap unit untuk mencari uangnya? Seperti itu. Terima kasih.
Oke, saya di sini. Saya terlibat secara langsung. Katalah untuk PGU3 ya, PGU3, KFW1, KFW2, KFW1 ni kalau baca adalah Excellence in Learning and Teaching. KF2 Research Excellence, KFA3 Sustainable Campus Infrastructure and IT, KF4 Talent Transformation and Governance, K5 Advancement and Business Development for Financial Sensibility for Finance, K6 Global Prominence and Branding. KF6 was under my responsibility as the head of the key action, key FA is key focus area. So in the workshop, our group will be divided into key FA. So during the workshop, we plan for activities and ask for funding. So each of the group will ask for funding and who are the implementers. And the implementers are also allocated. I mean, we propose, the funding for the activities. And at the end of the day, we have a budget for that. So that's very important. The plan should be followed by the support. If you don't have the support, how you can implement the plan? So probably we'll ask a certain amount of money. We cannot get everything, but at least we have certain amount of money to execute the activities. Then who are the implementers? So the main agency depends. Research then meaning that all of this usually led by Rector, West Rector Research, West Rector Academy, West Rector Students Affairs. Myself as then on human on talent, then will be by registrar. And myself at that time was the Pro VC International. So most of the activities that under my responsibility, the money will be parked under international office. That will be used for example, funding for students exchange, for global visibility, attending conference, increase the global visibility through participation in events, all the money will be parked. So one of my KPI as director, as Provisi, for example, that is my own KPI. I put this as my own, as part of the action plans. I have to secure a speaking slots for rector, for the VC, in international forum, 10 times a year. That's my job. So my role is to find like events like ATUNet, for example, if it is organized. Everywhere in Taiwan, in Thailand, in Japan, in Saudi, there are president's forum everywhere. So my role is to network with them. My rector is available to speak. Can you invite my rector to speak? That's my KPI. So that is activity under this. So there should be money for him to travel and whatnot. So that is and we should put that in the plan. You cannot just put an activity without any plan. So the university has to commit to that. And usually they will commit on annual basis. Okay, this is the money for you for 1 year. But that was during the early part lah. The later part of the PGU3, we didn't have the money anymore. Not much money, very little money. So it was a big struggle lah to really do that. Is answer your question? Okay. So it has to be supported. Otherwise, no point having a plan, and no point having people to lead the initiative. For example, under teaching excellence, under structure, then they have to plan for Wi-Fi for digital campus. So there should be a budget for digital campus, so for infrastructure development. So of course they cannot implement everything, but at least on an annual basis, there should be an improvement on the access of Wi-Fi and whatnot. If we need to upgrade the facilities, then we upgrade the facilities, the physical infrastructure. Okay. My preference always in my workshop like this, I go for the fundamentals. I mean, more on the vision and what should be done to enable the activities, not so much on the activities per se. But of course, for example, internationalization, we talk about internationalization. Actually, why, as the driver of the initiative, we should understand why. why we do internationalization in the first place. So this is very important because that is the justification for everything we do. So there are three categories of why. One is on branding of the university, global branding, that will affect ranking and whatnot. And then the institutional strength that will support the vision and mission of the university in terms of develop stronger research, develop stronger academic programs, providing teaching quality, eventually to produce quality graduates. So that is the most important justification actually, because the impact will be graduate employability. People will ask what's graduate employability, the percent. If you can say that our graduate employability is 80%, 90%, that justify all the hard work that you do. So eventually the most important stakeholder is student, to produce the best students. If you really committed to produce the best students, everything that support in producing the best students should be supported. Should be supported by the university. So it's not for the professors to travel, it's not for, it's good, but why we want international students in the class, in our campus? Actually, because of internationalization. Because internationalization comprises of two. One is internationalization at home, and other one is internationalization abroad. Actually, the most important of internationalization is internationalization on campus, on our campus. It's not so much of sending students abroad. Good to send students abroad, but most important is to provide the learning opportunities for the whole student body. So that, you know, we're talking about 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 students on our system, in our system, have the opportunity to be exposed to internationalization. And we cannot send everyone abroad. We can send to NUS, NTU, UTM, Japan, but maybe 100, 200 per year. What about the rest? We are producing thousands of students a year. So the rest of the students are not really exposed to this global outlook and challenges. Diversity, do not have the opportunity to have cultural exchange with international students from different culture. So the motivation of bringing international students on campus is to provide the global experience in the class or on campus, so that they have that opportunity to see, oh, this is from Africa, they are black, or we know that, but nothing the same as we really, you know, together and eat together or play together with them. And we know how they smell. You know, they have a, you know, all of them have distinct smell. Iranian has certain smell, the Syrian has certain smell. And this is cultural exchange. You know, and many people thought that Malaysia and Indonesia is just the same. They are, no, we are not. Yes, we are from Nusantara, but we're not the same. Our preference for the food is different. Our taste is different. Nasi goreng, yes, nasi goreng, same. It's not the same nasi goreng as Pak Dodi. It's not the same. So, and the realization of the difference only can be realized that if we really have that cultural exchange. And this will open up their perspective and see the world differently. Of course, the best is send them abroad. And you have the opportunity even for our children. If you have some money, send them abroad. Give them opportunity to be, most of us study abroad for for the whole year's PhD. And we have all 3 years to settle down. But for a student, they go for one semester. They have to do everything within one semester. They have to know where to stay. They have to find their house. They have to find ways to go to the school, to the college. They have to, because it's not different. It's not the same as going for 1 week where you can bring all your clothes. If you stay there for 3 months, you have to do laundry, you have to buy grocery, you have to cook, you have to find halal food. All of this will bring out their survival instinct. And this is where the problem solving skills come out, their independence come out, they have asked questions in the language that probably not understood. They have to talk to the German. If they go to the Japan, they have asked for people from Japan. If they go to France, people do not speak English. They have to communicate in a very difficult way. And they will bring out all the surviving instinct that will transform them when they come back, or even though in 3 months. So all the faculty departments, we should really, really committed, find partners, try to send our students abroad, as many as possible. Some parents can have the money to really send their children, but of course we have to provide some. So what we did, actually, we only provide only small amount of money, like, maybe we'll only support about 10% of the cost. So the rest, maybe they have to find on their own, things like that. But we have to have so all the initiative, whatever it is, some other initiative will be different for different group of students, for undergraduate, for master student, or for PhD students. PhD students very much easier, but for staff, we also put strong emphasis for our support staff to go abroad also to get exposure. I sent to Japan, I sent to Indonesia also, I sent to Thailand, I sent to Czech Republic, I sent to Germany for 1 month, for example, so that they get this exposure and come back. I mean, they think differently. So the internationalization as a whole, not only for the students, but also for the staff who providing the supports for the students at the university, so that they appreciate a lot of things, of the difficulties and the diversity. Abroad, a lot of things can be done. Okay, so this is big, this is heavy. Any question so far? Some of you actually are exposed to this already, and you know the challenges and whatnot. I think I ran out of time now. I'm supposed to stop at 11. Actually, I halfway through, so I'm sorry about timing. Finish. Okay. Oh, I have 30 minutes more. Or discussion. Okay. Yes. Maybe I just continue. And actually, if you have any question, we can do interactive as I go along. You can ask a question anytime. You can interject. Yes.
Kita membuat suasana internasional di sini. Seperti saya mengundang Prof. Nurdin, kan ini Internationalization at Home. Ya. Jadi,
betul.
Jadi kita melakukan Internationalization at Home. Jadi padahal untuk membuat itu kan artinya sejauh mana impact-nya, impact yang bisa dilakukan dalam konteks begini. Kita cuma melihat ada tamu, udah tamu selesai. Tidak terlalu memberikan. Sangat berbeda kalau dikirim keluar ya. Tadi dia dalam kondisi sulit, kemudian yang mengambil decision sendiri, kemudian dia mesti keluarkan bahasa Inggris ataupun bahasa Jerman atau bahasa Jepang yang dilakukan. Walaupun itu kalau perlu buka gadget apa terjemahannya ini terus dilakukan. Nah, maksud saya sejauh mana international at home ini bisa berjalan bagus ya. Mungkin kalau sudah besar dengan misalnya student sampai 5.000 seperti UTM itu kan kebetulan saya ke sana dengan Pak Sutrisno kemarin lihat langsung international office isinya orang luar semua. Ini to internationalization at home itu masih memungkinkan. Tapi kalau student yang dari luar itu masih sedikit, sejauh mana itu bisa mempengaruhi, membuat iklim international at home?
Ya, motivasinya adalah untuk membawa seramai mungkin. Itu ya pertamanya.
Ya.
Tapi kalau masih belum ramai, kita kena inovatif. Classroom, contohnya kita boleh create global classroom. Global classroom, dia ada satu sistem kita panggil COIL. COIL. Ini dalam global education salah satu ways to get exposure in the class for global learning is through COIL. COIL. Just search COIL. Is quite well known. I think we try to apply in some initiative during among ATU.NET members also. So you can also leverage on
Global class online,
yeah,
face to face.
no, this is online.
Online.
Oh, yeah, it's a live class. So you have one program here and one program in Japan, for example. So you conduct the class synchronously with the other group. So it's very easy to do on project. So they do project work together. And they present together, you know. So that is one of the ways to get this. I mean, those who are in the class, we have 40 in the class, they will have exposure to
You demonstrate something in your laboratory, structure laboratory.
Well,
But online, but the student from here.
together, yeah.
Okay,
I mean, they're doing that's under one course.
Okay.
There's one course that you do together. So part of the work, for example, is a project, it's a group project, and the group project maybe is a joint project. I mean, 2 from Indonesia, two members from Japan, and you have to work collaboratively to produce something, and then you present. But the issue is the bottom line is our students, they have the opportunity to be exposed to different culture.
It's similar with a joint studio in a urban regional planning that we did last year. If I'm mistaken, with
already.
Okay.
So that's one of the ways.
Okay.
One of the ways. I mean, of course, there is during COVID, people are doing that extensively. You know, doing with COIL. You know, if you were to it's much impactful. You bring in, you know, someone from outside to here rather than for you to go. If you go, maybe only 1 or 2 can go, and it costs much higher than probably bringing someone from abroad, where, you know, 30, 40 people can benefit from one person, and if it become longer, they can do the teaching to students and whatnot. And if you have speakers from different countries, from different regions, so our students will get what goes in their head is most important. Oh, this is how people speak, this is how people behave, and it's good to rationalize that, you know, reflection. So this is cultural exchange. It's all about the opportunity that we have to create so that our students will have this cultural exchange. Internationalization is all about cultural exchange. And open up their mind on diversity. Research collaboration, then for staff, yes, it's not much easier, but you have to do also for staff and for our graduate students. But now the most challenging part is undergraduate. So in our case, where we deliver our programs in English, so not so much a problem because we can bring in many international students to our class, right? The same class, because we teach in English. So we only offer one course, which is in English. So my class, for example, for my master class, I have about 20 students. 5 are Malaysians, the rest are from international. So these local students, they will have the opportunity in the class. That's for master students. For undergraduate students, of course, the international students much less. For example, I have another class that is about 40. There were about 5 local international students, maybe 6. So the local students, they have the opportunity to be in the international students in the same class. And when they have projects group, I will make sure that they will not, these international students will be in one of the groups, not, they cannot work among them only, you have to be in together with other local students. And I will make sure that in the group of 5 people, for example, must be a mix of male and female, must be mix of Chinese and Malays, and mix with international students. So that is the way I divide the group. And they must learn to work with people that they do not know. So it has to be random. If they, they have to start talking to someone who they do not know, and that will bring up their ability to communicate. Okay? Yeah, question. Okay. I know. So,
Thank you. How did the management prepare the supporting units, the register, the administration staff, laboratory staff, and dealing with the foreign students?
it's much better compared to your last time.
Very much better.
Yeah, much better now. I mean, people now, somehow we managed to change the culture. Transformation happened. Like the signage, you can see everywhere now. You have all the signage in dual language, English and Malay. All the circulars are all in English and Malay. So they know that whenever they want to do announcement for the finance office, for students affairs office, anything that related to students from health center, from counseling center, from whatever it is, everything will be in either all in English or in at least so we train them to, and we have programs, international culture exposure to our support staff. And we make sure that those who manning the counters, directly dealing with students can speak English well, and also can also deal with the different diversity of reactions of, dealing with Arabs, Iranians, Nigerians are not easy. They're very highly demanding, and not many actually our staff actually can handle them.
UTM conduct the trainings for the staff.
Yeah, we have training. We have training for security so that they aware of the, and of course they complain a lot, the international student like this, international student like that. They drive not following the regulation, but of course they have to follow the law. At the same time, they have to be aware that there are certain things, in terms of culture, they need to understand.
Thank you.
And we tried our best to send our staff, our administrative staff abroad. So a year we have a special budget at that time to send them abroad. I think every year we can send 5, for attachment.
Benchmarking.
No, attachment. I mean,
Attachment,
but shadowing. They go and attach to the international office, or if they are doing quality, they can go to quality office for 1 month. Yeah. If they are doing research, they can go to research management center anywhere of the choice among our partners. Yeah, some of them will choose Japan, will choose France, choose Thailand. Some of them come to Indonesia.
Because I witnessed the change from the first time I came to UTF and the last time I went to UTF.
Yeah,
different
different
environment.
Yeah, environment. But I myself, I didn't realize. I mean, I think the transformation happened, but you have to keep on doing it and provide the support.
Final questions from the participants before we...
I will finish, I can continue a little bit more. You have other things to do. So I have to, okay, I can continue a little bit. Okay. Huh? 5 minutes break. Okay. 5 minutes? Oh, bisa 5 minit. Oh. Kursi sudah berjalan. Sebab saya tak follow your schedule. Sebab so, sekarang saya boleh continue atau tidak? Boleh? Oh, boleh. Okay. Just a little bit more. Actually, the motto of UTM International is bring UTM to the world, bring the world to UTM. So, bring the world to UTM to the world, basically, internationalization abroad, bring the world to UTM, basically to bring global environment and learning opportunities within the campus. So within this, there are strategies, international office have to come out with activities and whatnot. So I don't have the detail. I used to have the details, these old slides that when I was the director, but now probably they've changed. Like high impact participation in international events, global mobility and experiences in many forms, short term, long term. You have to have all this in place. Like if student wants to go for 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 1 semester, 1 year, you have to have the policy for each category. International collaboration. So what are the policies? And then in terms of international engagement alliances, ATUNet, so I put that actually that's not stated there, but I'm also we are also a member of GE4 network. And currently I'm still the vice president of GE4 network. You're most welcome. If you're interested, I can explain more about the network. That's another network that I'm still in the board. Okay, bring UTM to the world. So basically, we were trying to establish UTM brand as global brand within the region in Asia. So ATUNet is one of the ways to establish UTM as a leading technical university. That was the rationale, and we have to lead. We have to provide the leadership. I think University Presidents Forum is one of another event that we bring in people, the partners, especially. During my time, the highest number of participants at that time actually 170 participants. 170, and actually about 80 of them actually president and vice president level. So just imagine you have 50 or 80 people, vice president and vice president level in one event. So there's very good opportunity to network. And you don't have to go, everywhere. UTM bring them, and all the partners can come to one place and network. So we provide that opportunity, and of course, at the same time, we can portray ourselves as a leader in international, because of the trust that being given to us by our partners. So we have to set up the office such a way that they will deliver their function. So it used to be my office. So it was a very big office. Now it's slightly smaller, but the responsibility under all of these functions has to deliver best action implementers, from the KFA 6, from KFA 6. So these are the implementers. So they're very important. They are given the support and budget to do this. So a little bit I want to just to mention the impact when we really put ourselves as a leader. So we bid for this. This is the largest conference in international education in Asia Pacific. So there are other events in other parts of the world, in Europe, in the US, but this is one of the largest. This is the largest in Southeast Asia, in Asia Pacific. And we put the bid to organize it because Malaysia never had opportunity to organize as the host. It was in other countries, in Singapore, in Hong Kong, in Australia, in Japan, in Taiwan, Korea, but not in Malaysia. So we put a bid to host this. It was in Australia 3 years before. So the events to be held in Malaysia to be held in 2019, but the bidding was in 2016. 2016, so 3 years ahead of time. So we were selected, and I was the chairman, and we managed to attract 2,500 delegates, and this is the largest ever conference, academic conference, organized in Malaysia. So, you know, the convention center at KLCC Petronas can accommodate 3,000, and you can see, 2,500 people in one auditorium. And you are there speaking, in front of 3,000 people. It's something, and bring UTM at the highest possible level of global recognition. So it was really, after 2019, it was organized in Vancouver, Canada. Then postponed due to COVID, postponed second time in Canada, and then 2023, it was organized in Bangkok. But people are still talking about the event in KL. Still the best ever. My highlight is that half of the participants come from outside Asia Pacific. Half of the participants from US, Canada, from Europe, from South America, and almost impossible for us to go there. And all of them are in the event. If you want to do network to find partners, there are 1,000 institutions for you to choose. And maximum actually number of meetings that you can organize within 3 days, maybe 40 meetings, 30 meetings, but it's good enough because out of 30 potential partners that you meet, maybe 15 will turn out to be something that you can work on. And by attending, by investing, by going to one event. So I just go because I got a notice of 3 minutes left. I just want to mention about monitor our national collaboration, how impactful it is. So we monitor the number of publications. Last Maret, at that point, it's outdated data, 2012, 2018. UNS actually the highest number of publications with UTM at that time, but now taken over by Universiti Negeri Malang because Prof Hadino now. But actually, with the partners, because we want to renew the MOU, we have to provide the report of activities. And one of the activities, the exchange of staff, joint publication and citation and everything. And you can see the footprints of our partnership. Yeah, Pak Ubay. I think now probably it's still good. I think maybe more than 100 now because this one is outdated. But by the way, this is how we see the impact of collaboration. And we never knew that we have very good joint partnership with US universities, with Africa, with South America also. So we should leverage on this. So without monitoring this, we never know how far our partnership goes. Sometimes we only collaborate with one university from Japan, but eventually it goes everywhere in terms of joint publication. And you got the citation for your ranking purposes. Since this is the network GE4, I will talk later with Pak Solihin about this. I'm now the vice president. And actually, we need to understand why we join networks. There are some good, Solihin also mentioned about the TUNet already. How to build and grow network. I just mentioned briefly, very quickly, have an international strategy and policy, attend and present, exhibit at conferences and events, attend social events. If you go to conferences, do not just go to present paper. Make sure you attend social events, attend dinner. Here, I joined the cruise. You know, this is where people talk and network. Join the dinner. They always have a conference dinner, and most of Malaysians and Indonesians, they go disappear and wisata. And that's the problem with us. You know, we are given the opportunities to go, but we do not network. So some deans, some vice rectors, if they give approval for you to travel abroad, you must bring back at least 10 business cards, something like that. You know, that's saying that you at least you exchange your card to another 10 other universities. You know, bring back and provide the evidence that you have networked with others. I'm talking of some universities. We do that, but some deans do. I mean, provide the evidence you have network, because they want to have the address and put in the database. Yeah. Reach out to authors and editors, join publication, develop your presence through LinkedIn and Google Scholar. This is some university. It's compulsory to have Google Scholar profile, and they monitor and provide the training how to make digital visibility. UTM also do that. Digital footprint through LinkedIn and digital profile in Google, in ResearchGate, in Google Scholar. Invite international speakers. Organize events on campus. Do not just go out. I've seen many conferences already. Yeah, do that. Encourage. Last time we put a special budget for the faculty to organize seminar, and they have to establish their own network. And we want them to have a network that is more sustainable. I mean, every year you rotate universities to host the event, but you have to start first and become the leader in your area, whatever your area is. So you offer to become speaker, you know, create your own network. Teamwork, you have to have this sustainability. Do not work alone. Keep in touch. Network. Now we have WhatsApp, you know, send you. So these are the events. This year, AIE, this year, NIE in Rotterdam, I'm going here. APAI is going to be in Perth. So I strongly recommend you to go as a university and make your big presence there. You can join my network, J4. It's a small network, and you can also participate in the President's Forum in August. So attend events is one of the ways to develop network. Okay, I think this I talked about already. Fantastic. This one was in Thailand. And apply international grants. I'm leading Erasmus project worth 750,000 euro. So that 3.4 million ringgit, which is 12 million. Yeah. So I'm leading that. Just imagine, you know, the amount of network that you can do within that. So I'm leading, meaning because I was the one who actually submit the proposal and everything and choose the partners. So I choose the partners from Europe myself. You know, we the one who choose the partners now. Okay. I think that I don't have to elaborate on how to develop sustainable international collaboration, how to sustain partnership. Just 1 minute on rankings. I showed this already, but I strongly recommend for research, you go for Europe ranking. You go meaning you monitor your position Europe ranking. Europe ranking only, you don't have to submit data. They will rank you automatically using publication in Web of Science, ISI journals, not Scopus, in Web of Science journals. So currently, like Malaysia in the region of like UM 236, UTM actually number 2, in terms, around 400. We are number 2, number 3 in terms of research. So we are doing better than other, although our QS is number 5, but our research is number 2, number 3. This is the international collaboration. International collaboration. I mean, joint papers. So our joint papers now more than half now, 50%. I just want to compare with Indonesian universities. This is the ranking of Indonesian universities. 1,441. I think, and that is, if it is in Malaysia, they are number 10 in terms of research. UGM 1631, 1613. That's, then ITB, this ITB. So I think this is real in terms of research output and in a high quality journal. And you compare to Singapore, they are number, yeah. So Thailand, they are very close to, except for UM, we are just about the same with Chula, Mahidol, and Chiang Mai, Malaysian universities. So in terms of research, that they are doing very well, Thailand actually. I think I've shown this yesterday. This is our journey from 2011. This is QS ranking, and actually we are slightly less. We are now 201. Slightly turun sedikit lah. I think that's all. Thank you very much for the time. I'm sorry taken time.
Thank you, Prof. Nurdin, for wonderful presentation. Baik Bapak Ibu, kita lanjutkan ke acara selanjutnya sebelum penutupan karena punya 6 prize. Jadi kita menghabiskan door prize-nya dengan beberapa pertanyaan. Dan for the first question, I invite Prof. Nurdin to offering one question for the participant. Prof. Nurdin, could you please offering one question for the participant? Okay. Waduh. Atau 11.30 udah. Ya.
Saya terus terang tadi itu ya, jadi saya melihat salah satu kelemahan kita di UNS itu adalah kalau international grant itu mungkin kita buta ya, artinya mungkin 1-2 orang yang tahu, kita sangat lemah ya. Tadi ada international grant dan saya terus terang saya salut. Saya beberapa bertemu profesor di UTM, mereka bilang bahwa kalau Indonesia itu peluangnya lebih besar daripada Malaysia katanya kan. Dia punya ruang, tapi kami nggak ngelihat di situ ya, di mana didapatnya. Dan yang kami tahunya, oh ini grant dari UNS, grant dari Indonesian government, cuma itu. Nah kami tidak lihat yang begini-begini, Erasmus Plus, British Council, DAD. Bagaimana cara ini ya, untuk bisa masuk ke situ ya, atau mungkin kami yang kurang bergaul ya. Network kami sangat kecil, itu yang masalahnya mungkin ya. Nah ini tolong diceritakan ini. Terus yang pertanyaan kedua, Prof. Saya bayangkan ya kalau kita masuk untuk international atmosphere gitu ya, artinya pasti ada resilience yang besar itu kan. Mungkin ada resilience yang besar, artinya begini, saya mau merubah, contoh, saya mau buka international program for bachelor misalnya. Saya tidak yakin semua lecturer mendukung saya itu ya. Untuk apa dan sebagainya, belum tentu. Karena saya harus menyiapkan network yang besar, kemana saya harus send student untuk untuk spend one semester ya, atau 2 semester abroad. Saya harus mencari itu. Kemudian kalau misalnya saya provide English di kelas, tentu butuh energi yang besar, belum tentu itu. Dan kalau misalnya ada student datang, siapa yang take care yang student tadi? International office kadang-kadang juga tidak bekerja secara bagus ya tidak bekerja secara bagus. Akhirnya lari lagi ke fakultas. Fakultas nanti balik lagi ke program. Jadi harus ada orang di program yang take care student. Nah, seperti apa cerita di UTM di awalnya ya? Saya kalau sekarang sudah 5.000 mungkin mereka sudah sangat serius di International Office. Saya datang kemarin di kantornya Ainadia itu, saya ditunjukin langsung di mana-mana orang asing datang. Nah, tapi saya melihat apakah ada di departemen atau di program yang ngurusin international student juga ya, atau cukup segitu saja. Saya bayangkan kalau misalnya di sini kita punya masalah di situ di misalnya international office nggak bisa lari ke fakulti balik lagi ke program. Jadi butuh energi yang besar. Nah, di UTM waktu di awal-awal seperti apa menghadapi itu? Ya saya tadi dengar ada ngirim staf administratif staff keluar, itu menurut saya program yang bagus ya. Saya bayangkan misalnya kalau di sini belum tentu administratif staff siap dengan kondisi itu. Biasanya kalau lecturer ya dia bisa melakukan, tapi kalau administratif itu big challenge menurut saya ya. Seperti apa di UTM? Dua question itu.
Oke, yang international grant ini kita kena ada dalam.
Apakah harus ada di level fakulti untuk international affair juga atau bahkan di program yang international affair juga?
Ya, biasanya saya dulu kita di international office lah, tapi kita sudah pindahkan responsibility ke research management center. So di sana sudah ada sekarang ini ada officer yang monitor semua international grant di dalam dunia. Dia ada special officer yang monitor meaning make sure that they are in the mailing list of announcement. Dia monitor meaning dia kena yang major funders tu dia monitor dia punya call. Macam Erasmus dia ada call, so you have to monitor dia punya opening, closing and everything. And then dia provide workshop. Bukan saja siapa yang dah ada seperti saya sudah dapat Erasmus, saya akan organize workshop how to apply for Erasmus. So this is all awareness lah. Jadi siapa yang serius dia akan ada lagi workshop untuk diisi to fill up the form, and so we give the tips how actually for winning proposal lah. So support tu very important. Sama juga siapa yang pernah dapat British Council juga di monitor. That center should be the mailing list of the funder. Then they will be getting the call. If not, then they still in Europe. There is an agency in Singapore that representing the Erasmus program. So you just make sure you are in the mailing list, then you receive announcement. British Council, I managed to get one from British Council Jakarta, from Indonesia actually. So I got the invitation from British Council Jakarta. This is network, got invitation to apply for the bidding proposal, call for RFP, for a request for proposal. So I managed to get, well, not much, but it's good for 3 months, for about £10,000. They are Japanese. They're also from Swiss government. There's also from Australia. They're also from Taiwan. Tobita is from Turkey. It has to be in the network, but the AD also they have a lot of funding. So just be in their network. You have to get someone to monitor it. And then the support, when we first started, it was only me and one administrative staff, only 2% in the whole UTM to take care of international students. When we first started, 2000. So, and of course, we developed one by one, in terms of system and whatnot, then you eventually get the support from the university. But during that time, you remember, was only me and Ridwan, remember? Only 2. Yeah. He passed away, do you know? Ridwan, recently. So only 2%, me and my assistant. I'm done before that. I mean, yeah, Ridwan will pay sometime. Yeah. And I have another person for admission. So one for admission, for there are the one for support, for visa and for activities. First at the university level, and then of course now we have global coordinator at faculty level. So now they are the one who collaborating with international office. Each faculty has one person who is responsible for global engagement. So this is the key, and we call it associate dean.
Oke. Thank you Prof. Nurdin. Baik Bapak Ibu, kita langsung ke pertanyaan kuis pertama, karena tadi saya meminta Prof. Nurdin untuk untuk memberikan pertanyaan, tapi beliau Oke, kita boleh Prof. Tapi yang menyangkut ini ya Prof, yang
apa moto internasionalisasi UTM tadi? Ya bukan alumni. Nah, boleh ya Prof. Nurdin ya? Oke. Ya, silakan maju Pak, langsung ambil hadiah. Nah,
motonya bring UTM to the world and bring the world to UTM.
Oke, benar. Oke.
Pertanyaan kedua. Siapa Vice Chancellor UTM? Jadi maju. Yang mengarang buku yang diberikan ke seluruh Pro Chancellor, Dean, dan seluruh departemen yang menjadi proses internasionalisasi yang lebih besar. Monggo Prof. Stefanus ke depan. Ya. Dua pertanyaan dulu nanti.
Ujang saya ini. Ujang.
Silahkan ke depan berdua untuk dikasih hadiah. Silahkan. Ya Pak, sini Pak. Dua dulu. Pak Dekan mau ngasih pertanyaan, Pak Dekan. Tentang UTM tadi. UNS saja belum ada. Masa ini nanti kita kalau duluin UNS dikira itu. Cuma saya sebetulnya ini Pak Rektor kan sudah biasa tuh WA iku. Nanti tinggal diganti. Kirim buku kan gitu kan. Berarti harus buat buku dulu. Sudah, silakan kita kasih aplaus. Ya, Prof, please Prof, two question like on your slide. Tak pandai. Nah, ini satu lagi. Salah satu kunci sukses UTM membuat internasionalisasi adalah membuat semacam kayak grup yang dari berbagai perguruan tinggi. Apa nama afiliasi itu? Yang UNS ikut join. Ya. Atunet ini harus dikasih juga Pak. Ini yang saya. Jangan ya soalnya yang tugasnya bayarin. Oke. Apalagi ya? Break sebentar ya.
Baik, Bapak Ibu kita lanjutkan untuk door prize karena masih ada 3, jadi kita punya 3 pertanyaan. Pertanyaan yang pertama adalah mohon disebutkan 3 faktor utama karakteristik dari World Class University. 3 faktor. Kan menyimak, siapa yang menyimak?
Research impact, research output, graduates, sama apa tadi satu lagi 2/3 apa namanya? Cuma 2 tadi saya, yang lain
Satu lagi adalah teknologi transfer. Oke, ya. Tetap dikasih hadiah. Baik, selanjutnya adalah sebutkan 3 saja international grant yang sudah pernah diraih oleh UTM. 3 saja. Yang tadi barusan di jenis grantnya. Jenisnya Bapak, jenisnya. Oh, ayo Pak Pringgo. Siapa? Fulbra. British Council. JSPS. Ya. Pak Seno sudah dapat, tidak dapat lagi. Baik, pertanyaan terakhir ya, pamungkas ini Bapak Ibu. Mengapa universitas harus melakukan internasionalisasi? Why internationalization? Banyak ini, boleh 2 saja. Monggo, monggo Bapak.
Jadi dianggap perlu karena ada dua pola ya. Yang pertama adalah work class at home dan work class abroad. Nah, untuk yang at home sendiri sebetulnya berguna untuk seluruh aktivitas akademika. Artinya bagaimana membuat seluruh akademika kompetitif dan bisa bersaing dengan dunia global. Nah, outputnya bisa salah satunya adalah pendidikan yang terinternasionalisasi, salah satunya penggunaan kultur dan bahasa asing sebagai salah satu. Terus yang untuk abroad, saya pikir cukup banyak. Jadi salah satunya mungkin untuk memperkuat ranking, untuk memperbaiki ranking, dan juga salah satunya memperkuat riset collaboration antar universitas.
Panjang sekali, ini 100/100. Baiklah Bapak Ibu hadirin yang saya hormati, telah sampai kita pada penghujung acara. Sebelum saya tutup, izinkan saya melantunkan 1 buah pantun lagi. Jalan-jalan ke negara Kenya, tidak lupa membeli kebaya. Terima kasih Bapak Ibu atas kehadirannya. Semoga CEE dan Teknik UNS semakin jaya. Baik, saya tutup. Mohon maaf ketika ada kata-kata yang salah baik sengaja dan tidak sengaja. Terima kasih, saya tutup. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.